Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Jeremy Johnson here with Journey Home Realty. And I'm going to take a few minutes here and kind of go over a question that we get asked a lot, and that's, should I rent or should I buy? Every situation is different, as we tell all of our clients, but I want to take a few minutes here and just go over and let you know, hey, some pros of renting, cons of renting, pros of buying, cons of buying, especially in the market that we're in now. So I'll go down a list of should I rent. The first thing we always ask individuals that are coming in is how long are you going to be here? If it's only going to be a couple years, 1-2 years, renting may be your option because you don't want to be upside down in the house. And when you go to sell it, you're actually losing money. So if you're going to be here, less than 2 years, that timing piece is big. You want to maintain flexibility and mobility. So depending on if you want a 1-year lease or a 2-year lease, but also what comes in with that flexibility is the owner of the house's flexibility, that if you sign a 1-year lease, when it's up, they can tell you, hey, we're selling it, you got to move. So that can be an issue as well too. So we always tell our individuals that are going to be here, hey, I'm going to be here, I know, for 2 years, ask to sign a 2-year lease. You know what I mean? So then the price won't go up and the seller can't break your lease. And then of course, if you're military, which we deal with a lot here, anytime if you get orders ahead of that, orders will allow you to break the lease. So individuals talking about if I need to build my credit. I'm working on building my credit. But I will tell you what we also see is a lot of property management companies expect you to have as good a credit, if not better, than what is required to buy. So that's not always the case. We've also had a couple clients that have been turned down from renting because their credit was too low. So from the military side, then we're looking at, hey, the credit's too low to rent and buy. We try to get them in base housing for our military individuals or apartment complexes, which may not have as high of a credit requirement. So there's a caveat to both of those. If you're trying to save up money and build your credit, you may not always be able to buy as well, as rent as well. And then if you're trying to save up money for a down payment, you want a year or two, you're saving up money. If you are using a VA loan, which is predominantly a lot of our clients, you don't have a down payment, but you still do have a requirement for seller's cost or seller closing cost. Buyer's closing costs, in this market, because we're still in a seller's market. So it's always weighing that options of, hey, if I'm going to rent, what is my security deposit? If I have pets can make renting very hard. We're pet owners, as we told you guys before, of 4 dogs. So we understand that, but sometimes the pet security deposits can be extensive, and for multiple pets, they'll add on to the rent. Sometimes $25-$30 per pet each month. Some property management companies give you your security deposit back when you move out if it's in good condition. Some don't. So it can be pretty extensive when you do decide to rent, first month's rental. If you have any security deposits that you have to pay or anything like that, it can be in excess of a couple $1,000s. So we always kind of make sure we're educating our clients on, hey, let's weigh this and the monthly cost of the rent versus what your monthly mortgage would be, and your closing cost, and see if that works out. If you're doing a conventional loan or an FHA loan, that does come with a down payment, which can get a little bit more extensive on that. So buying, of course, one of the greatest things and most rewarding things we believe, and it's not just because we are real estate agents, but because we've bought 4 or 5 houses in our career, is just home ownership. And I'm going to go through a list of, some pros and cons of, home ownership. And first one is, if you plan to kind of go off of what we said in the rental, if you plan on being in an area for 3 or more years, it takes about 3 to 5 years to break even and start seeing equity. You can build equity. And then when you go to sell it, that money's yours. Now, that also comes with the caveat that you have to be able to sell it, especially if you have to leave quickly. And so you work with a trusted real estate agent to make sure they build that timeline out for you. Hey, this is when I need to leave, and this is when I need to sell it. What's the right price point to sell it at that point to kind of not get out from underneath it, but be able to sell it and break even, as close as even, if not some equity. If you want to build an investment equity over time, to my opinion, there's no better investment opportunity than purchasing real estate or owning real estate. It allows you to, have tax benefits, tax deductions, things like that. And then, like I said before, when you go to sell it, any equity that's in there, that's yours. Whereas on the renting side, you're paying somebody else's mortgage is what you're doing. So, but again, if the timing piece that you're going to be here under 2 years, or you're working on credit and things like that we talked about, it may be the best for you. And then if you want a feeling of stability, home ownership, it's your home. You own it. Yes, there's a loan against it for the most part, unless you got enough cash to buy it outright. And you can do the flexibility of being able to change things that you want to change, the freedom of changing your living space, adding, taking away things. You can do that. Or on the renting side, it's got to be approved by the homeowner. So hopefully that helps kind of go over rent versus buy. I said, and as I started off, every situation is different, and we tell that to individuals that are coming in. What's your scenario? How long are you going to be here? And then we kind of go from there. And then, as I was saying, sometimes we'll set them up both with a rental email MLS campaign and a buyer's, and we just kind of weigh the pros and cons. What's the closing cost going to be versus the security deposit? What's your 3 to 5 year plan and things like that. So obviously, we're a big proponent for buying and having the freedom of owning a home. But if renting makes sense for you too, we're here to help. Hope that helps out to kind of give you some different ideas and I'm sure there's a multitude of different takes on it and people's opinions on it. But that's kind of what we go off of when we're talking to our clients here at Journey Home Realty. So hope that helped. Hope you guys have a great day, a blessed day, and have a great weekend. Thanks.